you're going to be able to see me in retrospect. But we're going to give this a shot. I feel a little bit ridiculous. This is exactly what I wanted. It's been an adventure, getting set up and everything. I'm just hoping that the footage and the audio is actually useful, despite the fact that it's horrendously windy and cold. Anyway, let's get started. Hello and welcome to a version of the NovelTea Knitting Podcast. I'm your host, Emma. I'm here to talk to you about all things knitting, crafty, cozy, also apparently icy and cold, maybe. I feel like maybe I've gone a little bit insane, and that's probably true, because I've gone a bit stir crazy, and I have just been absolutely dying to travel. And so I decided that I'm going to take the podcast on the road every now and then. If you would like to know where I am and what I'm doing here, then stay tuned until the end of the episode, where I will explain exactly what is going on here. But for right now, let's get started with the episode. First of all, as usual, I am drinking tea. It has gotten cold shockingly fast. I suppose it's not that shocking, considering that I am literally on an iceberg right now. But I got this at this gorgeous coffee shop, Aldea Coffee, at in the city that I'm currently located in, which, given the backdrop, I feel like it should be fairly obvious where I'm currently at, but only, I suppose, if you're in Michigan, which I am still in Michigan. But I want people to go ahead and put guesses down in the comments below. I will tell you where exactly I'm at about the end of the episode, but for right now, I would love to see what your guesses are for where I'm at. Anyway, this is chamomile tea. It's just going to sit here mostly, not to provide me the warmth that I was expecting it to, but to help me when the wind inevitably starts taking away my voice. I do, if you can see, have a little lav mic here. Hopefully the little fluffy thing on it is helping with the wind noise. Otherwise, this is going to be pretty intolerable to listen to. So this episode is going to be fairly short for two reasons. First of all, it is bloody freezing, and I'm cold. And two, I have not actually been working on very much this past couple of weeks. I have been very dedicated, we'll say, to two projects. The first one is a new baby blanket that I'm working on. I just finished a stripe, so it is not attached to a ball of yarn at the moment, so that makes this a whole lot easier. So this is going to be a baby blanket. A couple of friends of ours, one of Michael's friends from his childhood, he and his wife are having a baby, which I'm so excited for. I am definitely not going to be as involved with this in this baby's life as I am with Gwen, but I am still making a big old baby blanket, crocheting a baby blanket, as is my tradition now, and hopefully they'll love this, and if not, they will just have to pretend to love it, because I'm not taking it back, it's just theirs. I have been crocheting it from these great big balls of 500 gram skeins of Brava worsted from Knit Picks. I did not consider when I purchased these how much of a pain it was going to be to have these 500 gram skeins, because I was thinking, oh great, it's a way to save money, that's all I need. And it is significantly cheaper to buy these big old 500 gram skeins. I shouldn't say significantly, but it is cheaper. Knit Picks is, the Brava worsted is already really cheap. It is acrylic, which is, I mean, I'm knitting it for a baby. It's not going to be anything else. Crocheting it for a baby. But I am working off of 3 of these giant things, and it will definitely be easier. Like, the next blanket will be easier, but I think in the future I am not going to purchase these 500 gram skeins unless I am doing a project that is specifically one color, because just having one of these would be fine. So the fact that I have 3 of these, that is a huge pain in the butt. But I'm keeping it here in this nice little bag. I actually got this as a gift from, not as a gift, but it was part of my, I think my very first Bumblebee Acres advent calendar, which, goodness, guys, you guys know how I was so disappointed last year that I didn't get a Bumblebee Acres advent calendar, and I was saving up for the one this year. I was all prepared to log on, probably I expected sometime in April. That's how it's been in the past few years. It has been, besides last year obviously, but a couple years before that, it was around April that they posted their advent calendars for sale. And then I got onto Instagram one day and they were just sold out. They had posted them and they had sold out of them before I had even known that they existed. And so I signed up for their mailing list again, which if I had been on their mailing list in the first place, I might have actually seen this, but I've kind of like tried to cull all my mailing lists this year because I'm trying to spend a lot less money, and just constantly having like advertisements in my inbox just makes me feel sad that I can't feel money. Just makes me feel sad because I can't spend money. And so I just kind of wanted to do that, but I didn't think that they would put their advents on sale in February. Goodness gracious. I understand why they did. I'm just really, really, really hoping they'll do a restock. There is a chance. I filled out a form, like a questionnaire, like if we were to restock, which one would you like? And I made sure to check one. They are not doing their Harry Potter advents this year. I assume they're just not doing it anymore, which makes me really, really sad because I had this whole plan for doing all 7 books and crocheting it into a blanket. But I'm just going to have to figure something else out, I guess, for my 3 for the 3 books that I got, because I got the first one through the third one. I committed to all those years. But anyway, that is one of my projects. I am really enjoying working on that. It is one of those things that the stripes go really fast, or the rows in crochet go really fast, and so it's very gratifying to work on. It's also something that I like to work on like in bed, like right before bed, which is pretty unusual for me. I'm not usually huge on crafting like right before bed. I usually get into bed and I want to read or something, but I have been either listening to an audiobook or watching YouTube videos or something, and crocheting or knitting in bed lately, which is really fun. The other project that I have for you guys is a brand new cast on, which I am already extremely pleased with the progress on, and it is the Ena sweater, or is it Ena Pullover? I think it's Ena sweater. So this is what I have got so far. It is a yoked sweater, and this is my first ever hand knit yoked sweater. I'm really, really hoping that I like this style. I know that I like drop shoulder. I know that I do not like and cannot wear raglan shaped sweaters. So I am trying this one. I don't see why I wouldn't like it, but you never know. I have been absolutely obsessed with this knit. It is a little bit of a make-along for me. It was intended to be a make-along with several members of my knitting club, but then they ended up doing a different sweater first. And then, so just one of the people that finished theirs really early on said, I'm ready to do the Ena sweater now. Are you ready? And so I swatched. I did actually swatch. I have my swatch with me here. So on the very day that she told me that she was just about ready to do her Ena, I swatched, I measured, I figured out what size that I was going to knit, and the very next day I cast on. And she and I seem to be knitting this at a fairly similar pace. I don't know, there's a very good chance that over the weekend or something she will pull ahead of me. At any point she could pull ahead, or I could pull ahead, but so far it's been really motivating having someone else working on this sweater with me, and it has been really fun. But it is just like a cabled yoke, which I think is turning out absolutely stunningly beautiful. And I am a huge fan of this gray. It is alpaca yarn, which I have only worked with like very briefly before. I think I have it. Here comes someone on a bike. We'll see what they're gonna do. I cannot move. Howdy. Hi there.
Good shot?
Oh, yes. You too. It's brave. I don't remember what I was saying now, but I'm just going to talk about the cables some more because they're really, really easy. They're not complicated at all. I did actually learn how to do cables without a cable needle for the first time. I think it was an Andrea Mowry video that I learned from, which I will link to, but it's just such a fun knit and it's going so fast. I did technically finish the yoke already and I should have split for the sleeves, but I tried it on and I just wasn't really fond of where it was hitting me. I didn't think it was going to be long enough, even though I'm sure that the alpaca yarn will like fall or stretch more as it goes. Oh no. I am hoping that the collar blocks out quite a bit because in the pictures on the pattern, it does look like it's quite wide, but when I tried it on, it like held quite snugly to my neck, which I do not want. It's possible that I should have knit a size or two up, but I mean, if you look at all that stretch that it can do, I don't see why it won't hold some of that, and it's just a 1x1 rib, so I am confident that will probably be okay. I'm confident that it will probably be okay. That's brilliant. The repeating pattern is really, really easy to follow. The cabling is really easy to do, so I am just doing another set of the cables, and I think only one more set, and that should be more than enough, and then I will split for the sleeves. I don't want it to be a poncho, so I don't want it to be the sleeves or the yoke to come too far down. But yeah, that is my Ena. What I should have done was bring my hand knit mittens, which I don't think I've ever showed you guys, that I am absolutely in love with, but I genuinely was foolish and didn't realize just how windy and cold it was going to be. The only other bit of knitting news, I suppose, that I have for you guys is very positive news about my Schnee sweater, which I am currently wearing. I know you can't see it, but trust me, it's there. I ended up actually doing what one of the people in the comments in one of my previous videos, they suggested that I throw it in the dryer and see if it would shrink at all, which I'm sure plenty of you will cringe at because that's a very risky process. But I kept an eye on it. I liked what it was doing while it was in the dryer, and so I just let it go through a full dryer cycle until it was completely dry. And I love it. I really love it. So what I actually ended up doing, here's what I'm going to do. This might mess up the mic a little bit, so bear with me. But I am going to show you because I really love it, even if it means I'm freezing. So I ended up just taking it and belting it. What the dryer did for me, it didn't really help at all with the width, I don't think, but I definitely think it helped with the length. And made it a little bit shorter. It did make the sleeves a little bit shorter as well, but it hasn't really been bothering me, surprisingly, which is good. But I really would have expected that to bother me more. I'm in a better place, so maybe I will be able to start wearing a bit more in the clothing department. I can only hope and keep trying new things, which is exactly what I've done here. I don't know why I didn't think to belt it in the first place. I think maybe I might have thought about it and then just thought like the bunching would be too much around the waist, but I don't think it's too much. I think it's perfect, and it's very, very warm, which is very good because I am not prepared for the amount of cold and wind that is happening to me right now. But that's it for my knitting content. So where in the world am I? I am still in Michigan. I am at Grand Haven State Park, which is on the west coast of Michigan. If you will indulge me as a person from Michigan, this is how we always show you where we're at. So I am from Lansing, which is right around here, and I went west to Grand Haven on Lake Michigan. This behind me is a very frozen Lake Michigan, which is, somewhere here. I might just throw up a map. That might just be easier. But yeah, so I am one of those people that very, very much experiences wanderlust. And I start going stir crazy if I don't get to travel very much. And obviously with COVID, we have not been traveling basically at all, or very, very limited travel. And then it doesn't help that my husband and I right now are just trying to build back our savings after the kitchen renovations. We're trying to be very, very budget conscious, and so that doesn't allow for very much travel, if at all, especially the kind of travel that I'm craving right now, which is international travel. I haven't been to Europe now since 2016, and I used to go like every other year for a lot of my teenagerdom. I was doing a ton of traveling, either to Europe. I went to Taiwan for study abroad. I like really big, long trips, going to really fun, interesting places. So this is not necessarily scratching that itch, but it is at least helping a little bit because I'm able to temper it by going on these short day-long road trips. I am keeping the option open. It's definitely an option that I might take some like really cheap short flights. I've been able to find flights to like Boston and things like that for not very much money at all. So hopefully I will be able to grab that at some point. But for the time being, I'm definitely just hanging out around Michigan, specifically within like I would say probably at most 2 to 3 hours distance from home, because I need to be able to make it to where I'm going and back in a day. So if any of you are nearby, if you are within a reasonable radius around Lansing, then absolutely let me know. I would love to meet you guys in person, and also I would love to be able to come and see places where my viewers are from. I just really love exploring. I used to be a very, very adventurous person, and then the anxiety kind of brought me really, really low in that regard. And I'm trying to get that back, that bit of my personality that was a bit more adventurous, a bit more ambitious. And this is the first step in that. So I will definitely be doing more outside shoots. I'm also going to try and find some more inside locations. I think that it would not have been this bad. It is actually quite nice today, but I think it would not have been this bad if I hadn't picked the beach as my first filming location, because the wind is fierce, especially today. It's particularly bad. So parks are on the table, and I might see if I can film in some local yarn shops, as long as I'm not going to be bothering anybody in those places. Reach out to me, let me know. It doesn't have to be where you're going. You could recommend a place that I should go, a yarn store that you'd like me to visit, or anything like that. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this. This is not going to be an every single episode thing, because I do want to have the convenience of being at home sometimes. I like being able to brew my own tea, being able to like just reach back and talk about the yarn that's in my yarn shelf behind me and say, oh, this is what I'm planning on doing with this skein or whatnot. But yeah, hopefully this has gone well. Hopefully the footage and the audio is usable, and I'm really, really excited about this. I hope you guys are too. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Okay, it's bloody freezing. Oh, let's get home.